going squatching. Good haul. The old hut here. Not exactly my style. Liking that kuyu there. Nice. That's a nice jacket. How's it feel with the wind?
It's a little light.
Light for right now?
Probably.
Yeah.
Feels good though. It's keeping me cool on the inside.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nice.
Well regulated.
Yeah. Yeah, you want it to breathe. Alright, so I say we go find ourselves a spot. What do you like? You like going across the pond there?
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Alright, let's explore for a minute. Hustle, hustle. Don't fall in. Nice. Alright, so we have made our way across the pond. The shelter is back up in there, you can see it. But that wasn't really for us. You know, we like to be a little more in solitude and actually be camping, so shelters aren't quite gonna do it. So we've come across the pond here, just dropping our gear for a minute, and we got this nice little spot in there. Now, granted, the snow is quite deep. Got some shoveling to do, but we're gonna clear ourselves out an area back there and get to work setting up our camp. Nice. Clearing out a pretty big area. It's gonna be nice. So I'm gonna be over there. That's my tent site there. And Jason's over here. We're pretty far along. You can see we're a couple feet down, coming up on maybe almost 3 feet down. So a lot of shoveling, but not too bad. You know, takes a little bit, but we're on it. So yeah, going good. Nice day, beautiful, unbelievable day. Literally perfect weather here so far. A little bit windy, but you can't really complain. And we have ourselves a nice view over here. So this is one of those experiences you just glad you took the time to get out there, even though it's a lot of work. It's also a ton of fun. So at this point, we're pretty well dug in. Jason, you're like 4.5 feet deep, man. That's pretty good. You got to pull a little out on this end to get rid of your slope.
Yeah,
you got a little slope going on. Unless you put your feet at that end. There you go. I didn't go quite as deep. My snow is just a touch soft right there, but I mean, I could keep going and it would still be probably the same thing. You're gonna have a nice wind-free night. Yeah, I'm not quite as deep here, but I do have what I think is a nice overall size for the Crua Duo and the Cocoon. So I'm planning, the Duo is a slightly different shape from most other tents. My plan is to get the back side of the tent up against that back wall there, run it kind of sideways to camp here, and then ultimately have my opening up here with a little walkway out. And I've started a little bit of a windbreak with the leftover snow. So I'm gonna continue to level this out a little bit, but I think that Duo and the Cocoon should fit pretty nice right there. All right, so I got the Duo set up pretty nice here. We're gonna have a fire over this way back here. So most of the wind is blowing that direction off the water, so I should be good. We got Jason hunkered down underneath there. And now it's time for the Cocoon. So I got the Duo in pretty good shape, nice, sitting well, and ready for the next step. Then at some point I got to figure out how to tie some of these off. I don't necessarily think it would be a problem, but I don't want to find out. So I got a little bit of work to do, but let's get that cocoon inside here. So the cocoon is, I believe, right around 15 pounds. And then the duo is about 5 pounds. So in all, I have roughly 20 pounds of shelter system here. Not to mention I also have a tarp. But that's why I chose to use this pulk sled. It's basically an expedition sled I set up to get this in here, and you know, it worked out pretty well. Getting to our destination, coming across the pond, making our way into this campsite, and at this point kind of as a staging area for my gear. So I'm gonna get this cocoon out of the sled and into the duo over there, and then we'll talk. So Jason, check this out. This is that quilted interior.
Huh.
What does this remind you of when you feel it?
I don't know. It's thick.
Thick, right?
It's heavy.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of like a really thick sleeping bag.
Right.
The way it's baffled and quilted, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, pretty cool.
That's gonna be warm.
I hope so. I hope so. So, this is the part of this I have not yet done, but I at least have enough familiarity with this after having set it up at home that I pretty much know which way I need to orient this. You know, I see the corners and those, you know, inlet ports. So I know these need to be on the front corner here. So I'm gonna get this oriented and roughly into place, trying not to get too much snow inside here. And then I'll get to work on blowing this thing up. This has the air frames. At this point, I've introduced some air with my breath. I'm trying to get this positioned into place, and it's a little bit awkward. So what I'm going to do now is start using this Oasser compressor to start to get a little more air in here, and I'll help this thing hopefully stand upright. So this here is the moment of truth. I have the Oasser Mini P1 Pump here, all MacGyvered and ready to go with this cocoon here installed inside this duo. So once I get the compressor going, I'm gonna have to mine this and make sure I get it upright and kind of take my time and bounce between both valves and get it to stand nice and upright before I completely fill it. I want to get it into place while it's still easy to kind of maneuver around. So anyway, this is kind of the moment I've been waiting for to test this thing out. So let's see how it goes. Sweet. See how that goes. It goes fast actually, so I kind of got to be careful. Yeah, I got to straighten this thing out. And it goes pretty fast. With my regular breath, you know, I'm thinking I got less air in it than I did when I was in the house, just because I couldn't get this all straightened out, but the compressor's getting all the little kinks out of it and getting nice and hard, so even if I stopped here, it'd be about perfect. Yeah, I mean, I could go more, but I feel like that's plenty firm. So it did its job, actually did a great job. Nice and easy, very compact and portable, and I just have to make myself a better adapter here versus this MacGyver thing, but other than that, that was a perfect match. How is it down there?
Nice. Cozy.
Absolutely. So, this is just marvelous. So here I have the cocoon perfectly placed inside the duo, and I have to say it was quite easy. Now, you know, like I say, I like to practice in controlled environments so that when I'm doing it for real, I'm all set. So because I was very familiar with the shape and the size and the overall layout of kind of all this equipment, it allowed me to set up my camp, get my area dug out. Granted, I'll tell you that I did have to dig out just one tiny little corner over here to make the front fit well and to get me the space for the vestibule. But generally speaking, this setup went extremely well. Super easy, no problem at all. The pulk sled was key. I mean, being able to pull all the shelter weight was definitely critical. But it's here. Like, I'm out in the mountains in a very snowy environment with an incredible shelter. and I am very excited to see how this will be tonight. So I'm generating some thoughts here. First thing is there's a nice sun. You can see the glow. The sun is just beating down right here. So I think as long as I keep everything buttoned up tight, you know, the sun will beam on this and warm this up. You can see there's this glow here. So a lot of sun coming on. And hopefully gonna keep this a little bit warmer. And the other thing I'm starting to think is, you know, I don't use any sort of fly beneath the Duo. I've used it twice, and both times I have not yet used the like a fly or a ground sheet, I should say. And so, well, this looks really funny in purple. It's like I don't know if it's like a white balance issue or if it really is just kind of orangey. I guess it is sort of orangey in here. Yeah, it's definitely bright orange and pink. Yeah, cool. But the cocoon is going to insulate me from the ground. I'm also going to use a pad, so a sleeping pad on here, help kind of level everything out. But I got this pretty well level. You know, I'm sinking in some snow from place to place, but generally speaking, this is very flat. So I have myself a beautiful situation here. But my original point being, I will be interested to see underneath the cocoon, between the cocoon and the Duo, and see if there's any accumulation of moisture or water or anything wicking through. I just think that'll be something worth paying attention to.
Wow. Quiet too.
Isn't it?
That's nice, huh?
Yeah. Pretty excited about that, actually.
This is a little sleep cocoon.
It is a cocoon.
Good night's sleep in there, buddy.
It is literally the cocoon.
The cocoon.
Yep. So,
I like it.
yeah, that'll be fun.
I like it. Maybe I'll come shack up with you tonight.
Hey, you never know. All right. Hopefully this will be a nice sustaining fire here. At least we got everything dug back.
Yeah. That should be good.
Looks like we got a pretty good solid base going so far. I hope it's not just birch bark burning, but that other shit too, you know.
Definitely a birch bark fire swamp in there.
Yeah, that's good. That dry stuff there. Here, I got a bunch too. Here, hand that off to you. Nice. Now we're cooking with gas and a log. All right, so at this point, settling down inside the Crua Cocoon. So what a great day overall. Just an awesome day, lots of fun. Just a beautiful place, really. Perfect weather, can't complain. We got a ton of work done, had a good time, great meal. And at this point, it's been a long day. It's still not too late, only about 8 o'clock at night, but at this point, we've been at it and time to get some good sleep. So, gonna give this Crua Cocoon here a good attempt at a night. Couldn't ask for a better test for it, and see how it goes. So, see you guys in the morning. So, good morning. That was a very nice night's sleep. Well, I didn't sleep perfect, but that is not the Crua Cocoon's fault. Had to get up a couple times, had to pee. You know how that goes. But
generally speaking, very nice. I can definitely say that this was warmer than typical, winter camping in a tent. And the other thing I can say is it was nice and quiet. Definitely cut down on some of the wind noise. Now, I could hear the wind out there, but it wasn't really pushing through the tent, which was very nice. So that was a great night's sleep. I am quite impressed. There's absolutely no moisture accumulation in here at all. This is perfectly dry. So that's one of the things I wanted to see is if moisture would get trapped in here. But these vents go right out in line with the vents on the Duo. So as you can see, venting all the way out. So definitely worked. So no moisture buildup in here at all. Just a little ice crystal accumulation here inside the vestibule. You can see it pretty well. Just a little bit of moisture kind of getting trapped in here, and it's just sort of frozen on there.
So now looking at the outside, you'll see the vestibule area has those same crystals kind of all the way to the top of the tent, but where the cocoon is on the inside, there's basically no accumulation of moisture on the outside of the tent. You do again see it in spots where like the vent is. So you can see that the moisture that did accumulate inside the tent kind of made its way out through the non-insulated areas. So it's just an interesting observation. Check this side. Yeah, same story on both sides. So where the cocoon sits inside, no moisture on the outside of the tent, but the rest of it is definitely covered. So overall, a pretty sweet test of this Crua Cocoon. Overall, I have to say I am quite pleased. A little bit bulky, a little bit heavy, but for this application, it was absolutely perfect. And just to finalize my thoughts about the inside of the Duo, no problems. A little bit of ice here where I've been dragging it in, but other than that, perfect. So you can see up near the vents, some moisture accumulation there, and then working your way down the sides. This all appears to be on the inside of the tent. But the floor is perfect and no moisture coming through on the bathtub floor. So there's our campsite all picked up. It was a damn nice campsite. Total carnage over here next to the fire. Burnt ourselves in a nice crater. Ready for the traditional one last idiot check? I think we're in good shape. So with that, I'd say pretty much we're off.